So next thing, in regards to a couple questions, but also the last slide talking about, reach for Xanax. Like it's something that I struggled with because I was self-prescribing, years ago, with what I thought was just helping me fall asleep. That's what it started out as, was I couldn't fall asleep, stress and anxiety and things that I had buried, emotions I buried because I didn't want to talk about it, would come up at night when I'd lay down. And so it started as like, let me just take a bit of a Xanax to, doze off. It's a slippery slope though. And so like panic attacks, anxiety, those are things that I've dealt with. I've had panic attacks. I haven't had one in a long time. And it feels good to not have to deal with that anymore. But there are times when like I'm showing y'all, I don't feel, I was far from a panic attack, but you start feeling that feeling. Other people feel that. Who am I if I don't show you that I'm just like y'all? Bullying. I was bullied a lot as a kid, actually out of, 2 middle schools, and I was overweight, I was unhappy, and I ate more when I was unhappy. It was cyclical. Eventually, it just got to the point where I was done letting people dictate my happiness. This started at a young age, but it started with weight. And it just seems to finally, like just one thing after the other, where I'm just tired of letting people dictate this about me or that about me. Now it's just like, I'm just tired of letting people dictate my life. But as a kid, I was overweight, and I let them push me to conformity. Next slide, I'm gonna start a story. I'm not sure if anyone has clips of it, but Jessica Milagros on my season, I actually told her, I was like, Jess, I respect you so much for being a plus size model, because like I said in the last slide, I conformed. I gave in to exactly what everyone said I should be. I was fat, I was overweight, I'm this, I'm never gonna get girls, I'm never gonna do that. I would then made it my mission to be in shape and to look a certain way. And it's like, who really took the harder route? The guy that gave in to the pressure and started working out because of what outside people said, or the woman who stood up and said, you know what, this is me, whether anyone agrees with what I look like or not, or what I'm doing? She did. And I thought I was about to run out of time. That's something that I have the utmost respect for. And that's kind of where this contributes to what I'm doing right now. Like, I'm going against the grain, but you know what? Full circle into the next question. Bullying on Big Brother. That really did affect me, because I've been bullied and I felt that. And like at the time, in that moment, in that competition, and the things, like it seemed like it was just one side versus another. And yes, it's a game to an extent, but at the same time, there's still people and emotions. So as much as like I was ignorantly and competitively thinking there's no emotion involved, I wasn't being empathetic and realizing that, there might not be emotion for me, but there is some for others. So, Nicole, I'm sorry, because I didn't put myself in your shoes in that moment. And I didn't think of it as bullying, because I was naively not looking through your lenses. I was looking through mine. I was being selfish. And, bullying is a real thing. And that's on me for not recognizing what someone else could interpret as bullet. But it never came from a place of bad intention. It came from a game standpoint, where I was like, she's the source of some drama. My game might be at risk, and I'm an intense person, and that intensity is good when it's healthy and channeled in the right way, but it's not when it comes out as like aggression. And I am trying to channel it in a good way, better than I was on Big Brother, because in that moment when she came upstairs, I didn't realize how intense and aggressive I was coming at that door, slamming it. That's a common thing for me. I don't realize how I come across sometimes. And so like really trying to be more self-aware. And so that's what I really appreciate from Big Brother. One of the biggest takeaways was being able to see myself through a camera, not anyone else's opinion. It's not, an ex telling me I'm an asshole, or, a friend telling me I'm being selfish. It's I'm seeing me, good, bad, ugly, in between. And it's a blessing, because how many people at 24 can say that they have a camera crew following them for 100 days? It wasn't me living, it was me competing. I'm different on the field and off the field, but still, those qualities. Now, I'm just curious. It's not going to stop anything I'm doing. I'm just curious, y'all's thoughts. I'm going to put a little poll. Now that y'all have seen a little bit of background to the relationship stuff, the personal stuff, the answering a few questions, the show stuff, whatever, I'm just curious what y'all think. So, you know, I'm about to go run with her. She's been eyeing me for far too long. She's over it. She's done. She's ready to go on this run that I've been procrastinating on for a minute. We're gonna get some food. We're gonna go down to Orange County. I'm gonna hit the gym, and then I'll answer a few more questions. But I want to just say, you know, at this point, you know, I hope watching this, a few things go through your head. You're watching me in rapid succession over the course of an entire day, but also you're watching emotions that I've been truly trying to cope with for 25 years. It's just I'm now, for the first time in my life ever, okay with who I am and ready to show who I am and put myself out there for who I really want to be. So yeah, if you don't recognize the person you're looking at, maybe that means I'm doing something right, because I'm happy and I'm healthy and I couldn't feel better. I just finished stretching for my run, and I've always been overweight. I've always had insecurities. I'm a picker. I just rest pick like up and down. If I got looks at it, it's what I. So I'm starting to. So Sahara and I just anything. So there's one subject I'm gonna skirt off track for a second and address, and it's selfishly me wanting to clear the air on this one. The fact that y'all, some folks, there's a rumor my mom was gonna sue CBS. There's a time for this conversation. I have lived very blessed life, but I also have felt financial struggle. There ain't a snowball's chance in hell my mother or my father or anyone in my family for that matter could go toe-to-toe with CBS in a court of law. Over what? Them airing their son being their son? And like, what the fuck are we gonna sue for? Really? The amount of hell that people put my mother family through over that, y'all have no idea how much that really affected us. That ripped a huge hole in our lives. I just want y'all to know your words carry weight, good and bad, and that was never true. Next subject, that I'm a mama's boy. Very much the opposite. My mother has made more sacrifices. My father's made more sacrifices. The narrative that I pushed on that show was poor communication. That wasn't me being honest with myself, with you, or with my mom. I came out of there, my mom was like, what was that? You've never been like that with me. I did that and I overdid it because I was trying to show her how much I loved her, because for 24 years, I didn't do a good job of that. I wasn't the loving son I should have been. I was cold. I was not comforting for her. When she was for me, I wasn't for her. And I went on that show to try and fix that and prove that I do love her and show her that. And all it did things worse, because all it did was incite fires and all the internet trolls to come after her when I couldn't even defend her, and I put her through hell. And y'all put her through hell. But I'm not a mama's boy, but she loves me more than anything, and I love her too. Love you, Mom. That's like a good, like, the passion I have about that is because, like, it's yes, it's frustrating, but like it feels good to finally be able to say that. Like, that's been something. There's so many things that I have to say and want to say, and I've wanted to say for so long, because I was on that show for 3 months. 3 months of internet time, and never once had any idea about what was being said behind closed doors. Like, I had no idea. And this is all part of growth. This is all a dynamic. And you know, thank y'all for listening. Seriously, thank y'all for allowing me to try and explain and apologize and correct things, but also to write some things as well. Like this is good for everyone. I really feel like, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. So I'm gonna go grab some food, and I'm gonna go to the gym and then head down. I want to address, but I'm starting to realize the process on here, only having 60 seconds. These topics, these are heavy topics. These are big topics. These are important topics. These are topics that deserve a lot of time. And I don't want to rush through them, so I want to address them. This is not me trying to comp out. I'm just trying to figure out maybe like the best way of doing it. If you have suggestions, let me know. What would y'all want to see? How do y'all want to see some of these things that I have left untold? There's a lot, and there's a lot that I've talked about that I want to go into more detail on. Give me input. I'm going to give a question box and leave it open-ended. This is what I think. Yeah. Also, asking for a friend here. Great question, Karen. Thank you so much for asking. No, actually, the only things that I said about Jessica that were, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, that were taken as controversial was I said I would send her ass back to Mexico, which I did. However, if you were to watch podcasts or do any sort of research of any kind, you would have realized that us as a cast established the Marriott that we were all sequestered in as Mexico, MM. We called the diary room the Dominican Republic, the DR, not correlating that could be taken as racial. I said I would send Jessica Milagros back to Mexico to the hotel, saying I would evict her. She would get sequestered. Should have had a V8. But that's that. I didn't say that she was disgusting. Ever. And I'm not sure if y'all, notice this, but like, when I speak about things regarding Big Brother, it's not a fond memory for me. I've not really once smiled about winning. It was a show that I grew up watching with my mom, and I loved it, and I went on that show for a lot of reasons. But it was really one of the few shows I would ever consider doing that. Survivor, Amazing Race. I mean, I would do the challenge. I like competition. But it was hard, hard talking about like literally wanting confetti on my shoulders since day one. On the first episode, I talked about, how much I wanted confetti and like working towards that. Was I doing it in the best way possible? No. Was I doing it in the nicest way possible? No. But it was a job for me. It wasn't a reality show. But to come out of there and like, it's been really hard for me. I didn't watch any of this past season. And it was hard for me to really have any desire to see anything about Big Brother. And it was my own fault. I didn't leave a good taste in people's mouth. And I made my bed, I'm laying in it. But it has been hard because Big Brother was something I love and loved. And it's just not the same for me anymore. So, interesting interaction. I got distracted losing my debit card. Interesting things happen. Now this is me, I'm in the Chick-fil-A drive-thru line. This is me chiming in and just giving opinion. Do you see what happens like when you really just put in effort to like do good? Like I swear to you, my intentions are good. I know that sometimes my delivery may be skewed. I'm rough around the edges. I'm polishing them out. But like, I've really been trying recently. And I will say this, every single day that I try, good things happen, good interactions, things that you're just kind of like, wow, that was cool. Like the woman passing me today walking her dog, or like what happened at the pump. And I want to see if she posts, but like, it's just consistency. Practice makes perfect. We're not going to be perfect, but we can try. Pretty on brand for me. I think I'm going to be another good day tomorrow. It's going to be a better day tomorrow than I got. I'm not sure who yet. A chicken sandwich, a large night, and I challenge y'all to do the same. Post it, tag me. Okay, so I'm cute. I know someone's probably going to be like, "What napkins in there?" I will say this though. Mark my words. The moment you have something and you are looking to give it to someone, I say all that about the sauces. When I hand off the bag and the cup, it's an easy. Make it easy on them. You never know the impact it can make. Guess what we're doing? We're still looking. The funny thing real quick about that story was I went out of the car to grab it. And she goes, so I think we, sir, peace out. Take my Spanish. I got to finish my Spanish. So yeah, I technically need to finish my Spanish. You know what? She goes, I'll pray for it. Okay, so, I was talking earlier about natural alternatives to things. And so it is late, and it has been a long day, but it has been a good day. It's been healthy talking about this stuff. And there's a lot more to cover. A couple takeaways that I hope some of y'all can find is that, like, one, I'm human. That's one thing I've really just wanted to get across today, and I know I did it in an extreme dose. I'm an extreme person. It was a heavy dose. I know that. Trust me, I can never do what I did today ever again if I wanted to, and I don't, which none of you do either. You don't want to sift through 100 slides. That's why that post that I'm trying to get people, and I'm in the process of getting people together to operate that for me, to do it in a professional way, because like what happened today was good. The delivery was shit. It's me. Anyways, would love to see some folks get breakfast for people on the way. The hashtags and stuff and tag me. I just want to share it.